Welcome to the first workshop in the series. Usually we are devastated and people don't know what to do. If you go around, you will notice the following sign. That's almost every business is going out of it. This is our Canadian American images. If you go by Chill Out by Valenti, what you will find out that Costa Zara is out of it. So there are lots of stores going out of business. With the move of going out of business, people have been changing full-time jobs to part-time jobs. So lawyers, accountants, and different people are moving from full-time jobs into part-time jobs. And the government will find this too easy. It's too easy to fire people and let people go. Then people will start to find out where they can go. The other driver in this business is the value of the money. So what we could buy, what right now worth 5 cents, it used to be 100 years ago about $1. So our currency have been devalued by 20 times, over 100 million. طبعا in Egypt الموقف مختلف شوية أو different شوية لأن إحنا عندنا أصلا big down. Okay. People don't have money, don't have love. So what is the solution? The solution is to dive into entrepreneurship. I will skip the next slide. So statistically, we don't have good stats about the Egyptian market. And I will explain why in a few minutes. However, in Canada, 97 or 98% will be businesses who employ from 1 to 100 employees, which is supposed to be a small business, or if it's 2 years old, it will be called a startup company. And this is our registered business. There is about 2% medium size, which is up to 500, and there is less than 0.3%, 500 plus. Majority of them are government organizations. Small business hires about 71 or 70.5% of the workforce. Small business created over 10 years about 87% of the new jobs in the market. So the facts demonstrated that new businesses also lost about 5,000. So you created about 78,000 and you shut down about 83,000 over 10 years. So there is a high risk in small business or entrepreneurship. If you look at the worldwide, we will find out that the states or the US have similar studies. They launch about 500,000 business every month. And if we look at it worldwide, we will find that there is lots of activity for creating new business. The point I was trying to explain to you is, this area, they talk about innovative economy, which is economy based on innovation. Innovation is a new idea applied into the field. A new idea could be a new hairstyle, could be a new clothes, could be an innovative way to heat up houses. So this is what we call as innovative market. We are here in the factor-driven market. So Egypt is standing here. It's very risky to bring an innovative market solution to here. And there is other market which is called about efficiency-driven. So we are lucky in Egypt because we are not in the efficiency-driven yet. We are what we call it in different terms, we are in the commodity market. However, there are so many others for a personal interest, they don't accept that we are not into innovative market. They try to push us into innovation. So, if you understand the dynamics of, for example, some solar panels, how solar panel came into the market, it did not come from the local. It was imported from overseas and it was posed or superimposed by the government. Is not individuals who will go and buy. So this is where we can have also discussion about the market. However, are somewhere in the friendly nations because we don't look into the last 10 and we are not even in the top 10. So we are. I spent about maybe 23 years of my life in number 2 nation and about 7 years in number 1 nation. So I understand innovation and I understand why we cannot do it. However, if we want to grow a massive business or a massive brand, which is a promise for a business, 94% of them will not profit because there are always fear and the ego, which is we are always fearing and we have an ego that we can not do it. We don't want to do it. We have our own personal. Many of us believe they can do it themselves. So many of us will say, yeah, you know what, I want to start a business. I'm good into doing hardware, or doing design projects, or doing management, and I will start a management company. In a few minutes, we'll understand why a management company will not work. Why a new business. So doing it yourself is not the way to go. Many of us are interested and not committed. So people are, oh yeah, I want to do a new business, I want to start a new thing, and they spend about 10 years, they want to start. And in the following 10 years, they still want to start. And they will be about to die, and they still want to start. There is no really understanding of the value of money and how to manage it. Usually, we look at money as a return of investment. So this is for me not a cost, this for me is an investment. So if I go and launch or join an entrepreneurship program, an incubator in a place and I pay fees, this shall be an investment level, not an there is not a lack of basic knowledge of being successful, and most of us, we don't know what we don't know. So if I ask you, sir, do you know what you don't know? This is not the right, sometimes we cannot answer the question. The other factor in why we are not successful is we don't surround ourselves with experts. So if I'm an engineer and I'm a formal engineer, I will have starting an engineering company, so all of my fellows in the engineering company will be what? Will be engineers. So if I look at the enterprise food chain, yes, I'm an engineer. However, if I want to transfer my enterprise into dollars, I need marketing, I need communication, I need sales, and I end up having some cash in the bank. So having this food chain, and I'm an engineering company and all of my friends engineer, if no one has this experience and did it before, once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, you are basically putting yourself into an awkward situation and you cycle usually around the unique value. The second part of the coin here is we talk about unique value proposition. I must have me only. Like if I brought you a solution, it's me only can provide this. If I have a me only solution, I shall work with an incubator or with a consultant based on where I'm standing. I shall be able to build my communication, build my marketing, which is my message, distribute my message, closing sales, and enjoying the revenue. So many of us will not be able to understand closing sales. I spend, and I'll come in a few minutes, I can tell you why I'm having it this way. Now, if we look at people, what they like to do or what they do, usually many of us, they work for the money. Some of us, they do what they like. And some of us, they are good at. So, where is the best location here? The best location is if I can make money from whatever I like with my competence, with my skills. So this is the area where people could be very successful, very pleased, very grounded, enjoy their life. If we look at how we can build income with time, we find out people when they join businesses, they join as employees. So usually they have fixed salary. Sometimes they work really good, they got promoted. So they have some extra. Sometimes they will switch jobs, The only way to create asymptotic increasing lines is to try to stop exchanging hours with dollars and build your own enterprise or make money out of other people. Now, can each one of us do it? So what is the main reason, or what is the number one objection if I ask you to do something new? What you will say? I have no time. Do you agree? That's right. So whenever I ask you to do something for me, you say, well, you know what, I'm not available, I'm not free, I have no time. So if I want to look at your time, and a big question, how many of you did look at his time before? How many did you evaluate your time before? What you spend and why, and what extra time do you have in you? Okay. So successful people, they do it all the time. So usually we have 5 days a week, working weeks, and we have 2 days off. And in this example, we will use Sunday and Saturday as the holiday or the weekend. So how many of us will sleep 8 hours? Average, we sleep 8 hours. Some of us, like me, will be like 4 to 5 hours. Some people will be 9 hours. But however, we will always look at 8 hours for sleep. We work about 9 hours. So students who come to school, they spend about 9 hours. 9 hours may include transportation, may not include transportation. However, 9 hours is, we find out, as a good estimate. We can do preparation 1 hour a day. So we go washroom, we go wash our hands, we put hijab on, we shower, we do whatever. We will assume we have 1 hour of choirs or preparation. And we analyze that we eat about 1 hour and a half on every day. However, in the weekend, we position 2 hours for food. And it's funny because usually in the weekend we eat once or twice. But we like to socialize. Because we like to socialize, we accounted for this for 2 hours. So if I do the math, I will realize that per week, we will sleep 42 hours, we will work 45 hours, we will have preparation 7 hours, and then we eat 14 and a half hours. Which means I do have 48 hours available to do something. So if we assume working is 40 hours a week, you have another working week. So if you come and say, I have no time, I will tell you, sir, sorry, you have no priority for me in your available time. Okay? So if you want to tackle a new project, so this students here will come and say, oh, we did not do the homework, we did not start the project, we were busy, we were. Right now we can say that you have 48 hours. You come and say, I will travel for more than 1 hour to here and going back. I will say, no problem. So add this as 10. For sure you sleep 7 hours. For sure in that day you did not eat an hour and a half. So these are average number, and I hope that all of you will agree that this is your time. Now, if you want to stay with your kids or get your kids from school, you take away from it. If you want to travel to Sheikh Zayed, you take away from it. If I want to go hang around with my friend on a coffee shop, I take away from that. So there are ways, which is in one of my books on journaling, where we can multiplex what we do. So when I'm driving to work, I can listen to education or listen to advices or listen to some material. If I come in a bus, I can open a book and read or do some planning. So if I'm aware of where I am in my time, I can always multiplex my tasks. So if we have an opportunity to commit 20 hours of 48 hours, we shall be able within 3 to 5 months or maybe a year to start an enterprise which create a passive income. Means you don't need to work for the hours. Make sense? Any objection? Okay. So what we will learn today is a little bit about entrepreneurship. What does it mean? And what are the top challenges to be an entrepreneur? Why it's needed? So for me, I'm called world leading researchers. I have a few patents, about 34 patents. You can see me on covers of newspaper. You can see my website or my page on Amazon, which is different books I do have. And you can always look at me on fronts of magazines, either business or engineer, because I'm not a businessman, I'm actually an engineer who took technology, make it into about 22 companies, some sort of discipline. So if I want to start with the first question, which one of these guys is do you like and why? And we can get like 2 or 6 samples. So which one of these 6 individuals do you like and why? They are all the same for you. Any other? Which one will stand out for you?
Maybe the person.
The person in the middle. So why is the person in the middle will stand out?
It looks like it looks like maybe he's alone.
Okay. Does anyone see somebody else?
One of the right hand side. Yes.
Okay. So when we went around and we asked these questions to a bunch of individuals, where like in my organization overseas, which is not active in Egypt, we have like few thousand of these seminars. When we ask these questions, what people will say is, this one has an individualism. He's actually close because he crosses his arm. This one is pulled back by the hand. This one is affirmed. And this one is the one who's confused. So what I'm trying to establish here is, if we look at one image, each one of us will have his own perception. So having your own perception means that you can look at things in a different way. Okay? Okay. So if we talk about this business, let me just go back. Give you the full release of. So having these are different, as I said, like different people. Sometimes when you have like 100 or a couple of hundred in the room, you will find people are just tired and writing essays about how these individuals appear to each one and which one they like. Okay. So if I want to ask, let me just keep this one. When do we do a unique value proposition? So what is a unique value proposition? So if I come and try to sell you a product, I must give you what's unique. So for example, do you know McDonald's? So what's the unique value of McDonald's? Anyway, as a brand. Okay, let's talk about Domino's Pizza. What is the value proposition of Domino's Pizza? No. As a matter of fact, Domino's Pizza, they don't sell pizza. Which is funny when we come. And it's very interesting that I'm standing here in business school and asking these questions and nobody can answer. No. Domino's Pizza is 30 minutes away. So Domino's Pizza is in the fast business. And the pizza is only a mean to create value exchange with someone. McDonald's have been grown as McDonald's because it's the highest number of calories per cent. So in the Depression time, when they came and provide burgers, people in Depression time after the World War, they did not have enough money to feed their kids. So what they used to do, they want to spend cents and they get maximum number of calories. So McDonald's stand up at that time and create what we know now as McDonald's. So when McDonald's comes about 5 years ago and say we are now into the green business and we sell healthy food, this is a dramatic change. in the unique value proposition of the company. And that's why the company did not grow rapidly with the green against Subway. And Subway, what is the value proposition of Subway? Fresh food, which comes from where? From the refrigerator. Because tomato, lettuce, and every single vegetable, where you will save it? In the refrigerator. So when I get your tomato from the refrigerator, is it fresh? Okay? The second element is in a brand like Subway is they make the sandwich in front of you. So yeah, you go and select. And this is where we stand with a big question. Why shawarma is not a fast food? So if you look at Subway, Subway stands as a fast food. Eat fresh, make your own sub. Shawarma cannot stand that. Because Lebanese, when they went overseas, they did not position it as a fast, rapid growing, fast making food. So we can go through examples. However, we as individuals usually trying to find unique value proposition where when we look for a new job, so we come and say, yeah, I am the one who can do this. I'm very special in this. You can always, if you want to do a career shift, so if you want to go to another company or another university to work or to join, you will say, yeah, I am at this university and I am specialized in that. And we usually look at unique value propositions. However, everybody look at the unique value propositions all the time. So if I want to stand and say I am good at, you must say what you are good at, which is different. Any questions? Here we come to a question of why we do entrepreneurship, why we don't go work for others, why we start our own business, why we don't go for others. So this example is, which one is more valuable? 1 cent or $1 million? And these are the Canadian coin. So it can be a million Egyptian pound against one piastre. So which one has more value? The million or the 1 cent? The million, so that's right. All of you agree the million has more value? Okay. So if I have a sort of a business when I start with collecting 1 cent, and the second day I will collect 2 cents, third day it will be 4, 8, and by every day I double my cents. I will find out that I will be able to collect $5.12, so I can go get a Starbucks or a cheap McDonald's meal. On the 20th day, if I keep doubling every day, it will end up being 5,000. And if I go up to the 27th day, it will be $671.88. Now, how many months a year has 28 days? All months has 28 days. So on the 28 days of every month, after doubling a cent a day, you shall be able to make $1.3 million. Okay? 29th, 30, and if you're lucky enough in December, which is 31st, you can make $10 million out of having 1 cent. Which means, if I can recruit a single individual who will work for me and create a revenue of 1 cent, and on the second day I will recruit 2, on the third day I shall be able to recruit 4 with their assistant, I end up having that mass with that economy. If you say it every day is hard, no problem, make it every week, make it every month. Because 30 months is about 2.5 years. It's not a significant amount. So if you go start a business and you make 1 of each and you double with the next customer, this is how the flow will go. So if I go back and tell you, is a cent more powerful or the million? The cent is more powerful. In formal business and the formal economy, we call this as turnover. So if you get investment and you turn over every cycle, this is what they call it, fast turnover. And this is also a model which we use to create businesses overseas. We don't care about how much do we sell. We care about how fast we can double our money or how fast we can create revenue. Okay, and we can talk about this offline. So the power here is cycle. Now, what are the top 5 challenges and risks for entrepreneurship or building an enterprise? And remember, the talk here is about diving into enterprise. Okay? So, the first one is we don't see, we don't touch, we don't taste, we don't smell, we don't hear that we can build business. So, what is an entrepreneur? An entrepreneur is he's somebody who can create business, who can face risk, uncertainty, and he will be able to achieve profit and growing by identifying opportunities. So if you come and say, I will just open a lemonade stand here and sell lemonade, I did not identify the opportunity. Because if the lemonade will come in December, January, in a -10 or in 0 temperature, people come to you and drink. You will look like somebody trying to sell hockey players walkers. That's right. Can you sell lemonade in winter? The answer is no. But can you sell hot lemonade in winter? Most likely, yeah, okay? So, the message here is we can build new business, we can build new ideas. However, we have to identify opportunities. And these opportunities has to grow with profit and growth. And from the very beginning, we talk about that we cannot be individual. We have to have a team who can be able to understand and guide us with our values how to create such an opportunity. So here I have some, these are the numbers of startup companies in the US. And I can say one thing here. So this is a startup in the US. We have the startup in Canada. I can get to any country except Egypt. That's the question why. Why in Egypt we don't have solid numbers? Very simple. These numbers can, what is the source of these numbers? What is the source of these numbers? The government registries. So if I go to the government registry and I got the year stats, they will tell me we have a new registration of so many and a new closure of so many. That's right. In Egypt and in underperformed or in this kind of societies, we are not registering every business we have. So the fact is we have entrepreneurship outside here. They don't have registration, they don't have legal identity. We cannot track them. So we don't know how many of us are successful, how many of us started, how many of us are closing. The other risk I see as an individual, this is my personal opinion, is having pages and selling through websites and social media and so on. This is very good for society. However, the concept of driving people outside registry, outside tax registration, outside having a formal organization where you can file bankruptcy and clear your record is very risky for the society. Because we don't know. We are always suffering from competitors who are not recognized by the government. اللي هي بالعربي بيسموها السوق الموازي. So the vegetable sellers or بياع الخضار هل ده عنده بطاقة ضريبية؟ هل ده عنده كده؟ There is an issue also that the legal system in Egypt does not allow a flexible registration. So you can have individual companies, you can have limited partnership or not limited partnership اللي هي شركات التضامن اللي هي two or more people. You not joint venture. You can do. There are 5 types in Egypt. There is one which is individual proprietary. The second one is tadamun. Tadamun means 2 or more. The third one is limited shares. No, there is no limit liability. There is one controlled share and there is one which is in the share, the market itself. شركة مساهمة مصرية وفي شركة مساهمة محدودة وفي شركة في شركة مساهمة غير قابلة للتداول. So these are the 5 types. I'm trying to keep it in English, but these are the 5 types. Each one of those will need at least 12 pieces of documentation. غرفة وحاجات تانية كتير. And each one of these may belong to one or more. So when I start to have a satellite channel corporation in Egypt to broadcast on satellite TV with a foreign partner, we found out that we are under إعلام because we are doing بث مباشر على الهواء. We are under المعلوماتية عشان احنا عندنا يوتيوب channel وعندنا online channel. We are under قانون تنظيم الصحف because we have news network. We are under الأمن الوطني طبعا ربنا يكرمنا بيه. And so when you look وبعدين احنا under المصنفات الفنية. فأنت if you want to go in Egypt and just start a company, it's a big question. انت عايز ايه بالظبط؟ Anyway, but now we're not trying to get to this reach, but this is always a question we have: is why we don't have members? Because we don't have a formal register. Now, who can start a business? So these are some characteristics of entrepreneurs. Usually, they are people who are responsible, accountable. They are not afraid of risk. They can have confidence in their ability. Confidence in your ability, it's an exercise which we did with Canadian athletes and US athletes when they compete for the golden medals in the Olympics. These people will stand in meditation rooms and dream and see in front of themselves that they are honored by the gold medal. She will go out on the ice, do the speed skating, and go achieve their dream. This kind of philosophy does not exist in the society I discussed with you. Okay? So the idea of you are very having confidence that you are getting to this stage, it works even with the students. So when we try to motivate a student that before you go to bed, dream with the full mark on the sheet. People who let it go and start to position their mind in this way, they usually have better grades. So anyway, so we can just, for the sake of time, we can move on. And so these are extra characteristics. The most important one is we have high degree of commitment. If we cannot commit, we have no friend, we have no partner, we will lose the money. We have to have tolerance for ambiguity, because if we work in entrepreneurship does not have a confined, determined pathway. You may have different forces, you may have unknowns. Sometimes you need to be creative. You need also to be flexible. Flexible means what? Flexible means I accept other ideas, I accept the market is not comprehending with me, I accept losses. The most important characteristic is resourcefulness, means I have resources for whatever I need. These resources could be my friends, could be incubator on campus, could be business partners, former business partners, friends from banking account, friends from marketing. So I must have my Rolodex of cards for contacts who can build and help build me my business. And the last one is we need to work hard. Need to work hard means we need to give up sleep sometimes, we may need to work, traveling, we may need to not stay at home for 7 days a week because we are basically on field or on customer. So these are some of the characteristics for entrepreneurs. There was a survey done in 2016, and they went out and they looked at a bunch of successful entrepreneurs and individuals, and they asked the question, which one of these qualities is the most important? Amazingly, vision and passion are the two most important for success. And if I talk about myself, if I talk about, if Dr. Levine allows me to talk about her, each one of us, when we were young, in your shoes, we were sitting in the classroom looking at this supervisor or professor, and we would die to be like them. That's right. Usually we have this passion, we want to be like them, we want to follow our role model. So if I have a passion, I have a passion, This is what people rank at the top. Drive, 64%. Interestingly, that integrity is there, because usually integrity, it's a personal quality. By default, all of us have integrity. All of us صادقين بالعربي. However, people will see this as one of the qualities, which is I always oppose as my personal opinion. Integrity and honesty, transparency, this is our fundamental quality in us as humans. If we don't have them, we should not belong into our society. Innovation does not even make 50%. So when people develop innovation hubs, they are missing all of them. So ability to work as a teamwork is one of the top criteria as well. So these are the skills which we usually suggest people will have. I do have some videos, but I will skip them for sake of time. So number 4 problem is we are not in control. So the risk is you are not in control. So if you are not in control, this is what you could not have. So you need to create your own destiny. We demonstrated at the very beginning that the jobs is not stable, the money is devalued. So if I want to control my destiny, I must start a business or enterprise so I can have more into my destiny. You need to make difference. You have opportunity to reach your potential. You have to reap impressive profit, and you need to contribute to the society to be recognized for your effort. And this is what we call it value exchange. So when people exchange value, people get recognition as part of the value. There is no money talks here if we skip profit, which means that the main driver for enterprise and entrepreneurship is not making cash. Cash is coming if I contribute to society, if I want to enjoy and reach my full potential, if I want to change my society. Money will come. I have this slide here because sometimes when we discuss with individuals, we have this problem. So people having uncertainty of their income. This is one of the highest issues with starting your own business, because you basically get income when people buy your products. Risk of losing entire investment, long hours and hard working, lower quality of life until business gets established, and the high levels of stress. These are the 5 risks or the 5 drawbacks for employee entrepreneurship. And out from the same study, there was some questions about the sources, and losing business and repaying personal debts are on the top, and losing business, losing clients, and bring new business can be usually leveraged if you do have an incubator or a structured help, because these people will be able to help you out not to lose business. Usually, entrepreneurs, they feel like heroes. They have entrepreneurship education. So if you are engineer, you need to have the risk. If you are marketing or sales, you need to educate yourself into the technology. There is demographic and economic factors. You need to shift to a service economy, technology advancement, independent lifestyle, and right now with the internet, it brings all of these technologies to your fingerprint. So at your fingertip, you can do some of these applications. This is an example of the US online retail. So it grows from 2012 from 200 million Sri to almost 50% more in 5 years. So the online retail, it's one of the fast growing, and the online retail, the function of it was it's easy to put the system together. You have to understand, this is a country of about 400 million people. We are here about 100 million, so we are about quarter of them. The risk number 3 is we are a misguided couple. Usually we go get advices from individuals who did not do it before. Okay? One example we always say here is, what will happen if I tell you all of us will go on a trip? And I will come with a bus and all of you will ride into the trip. So what will be your question? Where are we going? I will tell you we are going to a trip. What will be the following question? So, which area are we going to? Is the area where we have the trip. So, having uncertainty or having answers in this way, we find out that people usually do not plan for their business as much as they plan for their trip. Because if I ask each one of you, the students or the people who work, where are you going tomorrow? What are you doing in school? He will tell you, I'm doing schoolwork. But if I ask him, where are you going for a trip? He will say, I will take that bus, I will walk in this road, I will drive, I will step, I will. So having plans, detailed plans, and listen to the expert is one which is we call missing guide. So entrepreneurs are not paralyzed by the perspective of failure. And failure is a natural part of creative process. Successful entrepreneurs learn to fail intelligently. So I never failed in my life because I never stopped doing it, because I did not achieve what I want. You always being in a position where if I start to sell in a way and the way did not sell, I will do it another way, another way. If I stop, it will mean I fail. So if you close the business, it means I fail. And here we drive some small business failure numbers over numbers. Let's say this one. The number 2 challenge for this business is we don't take action. People usually slow in taking action. So if I tell you, do something, you will not, oh yeah, I'm tired, I'm busy, I'm not. So if we don't take action on time, we lose the windows. So basically, worldwide or in the US, the entrepreneurial activities starts at age 20 years. So from 20 to 34 years, people having 25% of the new business. So if I look at young demographic, people will be able to start businesses as if right now. So during your school, you may be able to start business and take actions on time. So in the cultures of diverse entrepreneurs, we identify young entrepreneurs, we identify women, we identify minority. In countries where we have immigrant, we define immigrant. And there's also a new definition which is called part-time entrepreneurs, which means sometimes working full-time and part-time will have some tasks. The issue with this kind of definition, and this comes from one of the books in entrepreneurship management systems, I have an issue with this definition because entrepreneur means high commitment, that's right? So if I start a business and doing it part-time, I'm not committed, that's right? I'm doing part-time, that's right? So, but these are the criteria of different entrepreneurs. You can also classify businesses as home-based, as family, as co-preneur, as corporate dropout. And these are different definitions if we care about how to build a facility to help entrepreneurs. We should be able to consider which one of those will provide which kind of. The last challenge in the 5 challenges which meet entrepreneurs would be number 1 challenge. So the question is, what is the top challenge facing entrepreneurs? Capital, what else? Omar, what else? Innovation, application. Fear of failure. As a matter of fact, number one challenge in anything is you. Because you are the one who listened to me this whole thing and did not think about starting and connecting with Dr. Nihan to start to explore what do you mean entrepreneurship center in the school. So we are the one who are first enemy for ourselves. We are the one who cannot move quickly. We listen and we are on the missing arrow. We don't know what we don't know and don't try to clarify. We don't try to educate. We don't try to get help from us. So in summary here, I briefly describe entrepreneur, what does it mean, and top channel. Do you agree? Do you agree on that? Before I conclude, I usually love to have a little review. So question and answer. Is entrepreneurship for me? The answer yes. Everyone is born and they can master the skill. Because entrepreneurship is a skill. You can learn and you can master. I just started a small business. Great. If you start in a small business, you are in the phase to make it right. So look for help. If we have the incubator here working, look at the incubator here and try to get it. Some people will come and say, no, I'm starting a business with my coach. Great. If you have a coach, it's very important. However, as we demonstrate in the food chain, there are marketing, communication, sales, and others. So we must look at coaches in different things of what we do. Can I wait to start? Usually it's harder to wait because there is something we call in the market window opportunity. So if the window is there and the window is open, more flies will get in and the first fly will win the game. This usually is the expression we say. So if there is an opportunity in the new capital to pay a construction and you will wait for 10 years, the new capital will be built. If you wait for 5 years, more competitor will be ahead of you. So shall I wait? The answer is you will miss the passion. I don't have dollars or I don't have money. It doesn't cost too much money to start a new enterprise. If you work it in the right way, if you work with the right partner, money will come. It's not a huge investment. Can I do it myself? Usually no. And when we spend times in Europe and outside Middle East, usually we start business in the Middle East. Because if you cannot convince a partner, you shall not be able to convince a customer to buy. If I cannot convince my wife, I will not be able to convince somebody else. Okay? I don't need to be entrepreneurs. Everyone shall be in control of their future. So if I say I don't want to be an entrepreneur, you may not be the lead in enterprise. However, you need to understand the skill so you can move on with it. When can I start? You shall start now. You shall start to explore what you can do. Any question? That's me. These are some of my books. I have one of my books here. I'm a formal engineer, professor in electrical engineering, and I did startup businesses from 1995, technology-based, selling them, making money, losing money, enjoying the journey, and I'm here to help serve you. And I appreciate from Dr. Naveen to give me the opportunity to share some thoughts of what does it mean entrepreneurship as the first workshop in this.
You.